Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here with yet another exciting product pan update. We are doing 3 for 3. We are updating my product pan today. So normally at the end of the month and then obviously like towards the beginning of the month I usually do the 26th I think, 28th maybe, the 30th and the 2nd is my product pan update for these 3 products that I've been updating in the last couple of days. But as you know, I've been sick. If you didn't catch my last 2 videos, especially my Panna's face palette, I did have the stomach flu, which is why I didn't post for a while, so that's also why I'm behind. So again, we're doing a little bit of a catch-up week and we have another exciting update today. And the one project that is left to update for like this kind of switch of the month is my product pan. So I am doing a rolling style product pan with 10 products in the project, and I absolutely love this project because it is my like dedicated like OG product pan type of video and series. I only want to finish product. I don't have any like usage goal, any hit pan goals, nothing like that. I am hardcore trying to finish products, and as soon as I finish something up I do roll new things in. So that is the main gist of the project. I don't think it's news to anyone, and this is what a lot of people do, and it's also what I've done for I think since I started my YouTube career. I think I have always structured this project this way. But I'm gonna jump into the video and the progress, but before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So I am going to start off with the product that has been in the longest. That's always what I do. I know some people wait would like do the rollouts last just to keep the suspense, but I just like going in chronological order just so you can kind of have some surprises when there is rollouts and when not throughout the video. But we're going to start off with a bang, and that is this product right here. So this is my Revolution Conceal and Define Conceal and Hydrate concealer in the shade C0, which is just a white concealer. This has been the concealer that never dies. I have been working on this one for so long. I worked on it last year, and when I rolled it into the product last year, it wasn't new or anything, and I worked on it, of course, now for the first 5 months of 2025 as well. I use this one as an eyeshadow primer. That's how I've been getting use out of it. So I don't use very much of it, but still a decent amount. And I have continued working on this one in the past month. I took out the stopper I think 2 months ago, and at that point I thought it was going to be done in no time, but it has just kept going and kept going and kept going. However, I am finally calling this one quits. It might not look like it's completely empty, and there might look like there's product in there, but I've been using a brush, and I literally, last time I used it, I literally put it all the way to the bottom and swirled it around like crazy to try to get as much as I can out in there. Again, there is a little bit product stuck around the bottom here. Don't know how well you can pick that up, but I do think that it's completely dried out now. And I can also tell when I'm blending this out on my eyelids as like my primer, it is now much drier, which also makes it a bit harder to blend, a little bit patchier. So I think this one has had its time. It is time to retire, time to bury this product, and yeah, I'm excited about it because I've been working on this one for so long. I haven't told you the usage yet, but it did take a lot of use in this past month. I'm actually wearing it today. Technically, this bottle is empty. Like, I used the thing to swirl around when I did my makeup this morning, and that was like me calling it done. But I did have a little bit of like residue left on the brush that I use, and that's what I used now. So I did count that as one more use, but I am going to call this one quits. So with that, I did use it 19 times this past month, which again is very high. And in total in this project, this is combined with last year's usage as well. It took me 182 uses to finish this product, and just for reference, I used it 53 times in 2024, and the remaining uses are from this year. So we have a rollout, and of course I will be replacing this one at the end of the video. The second product has also been in since the beginning of the year, and that is my Becca Under Eye Corrector in the shade Light to Medium. This is a product that I stocked up on when Becca went out of business. I think I have one more backup after this one, but I'm getting through them. Luckily this product is now moved over to Smashbox, so I can still get it, and I do really like this product. It's you know, a good under eye brightener. It means I'm useless concealer, and I feel like it works really nicely for me. So this is also a product that I worked on again last year. So I had 52 uses on it already from 2024, but I have continued working on it this year as well, of course. I have been rolling footage of what this one has been looking like, and this is what it looked like last month. So this is after 4 months in the project, and you can see at that point I had hit pan as well. I've continued working on this one, and since last update I have 25 uses on it, which I think is really good, and this is what it looks like today. So you can see that the pan, I think at least, is more visible, and it's definitely getting lower. I do have a decent amount left in here, but I am seeing that it's going down, you know, slow but steady, and that's kind of the main point of this one. I don't think it's going to be any issues finishing this one this year, and I'm just, you know, taking my time with it. This is the product right here. You can see the pan right there where I've hit it. I have been trying to like even out the sides and not necessarily just focusing on expanding that pan, even though it probably has expanded a little bit. And like I said, I have reached for this one 25 additional times in the past month, and so far I have 190 uses on this one tracked, and that again is this year combined with last year. Last year, like I said, I used it 52 times, so how many uses are that this year? That is 138 uses this year, which is very high, but it is a product I can use almost every single day, and I don't reach for it every time I do my makeup, but I try to remember to reach for it majority of the time. So we continue on with products that have been since the beginning of the year, and we do have a couple more. The next one is my blush, which is the Fat Boy Blush from the Balm. I'm rolling now the footage of what this one has been looking like throughout the year. You can see when it first rolled in, it had a little bit of use. It wasn't like a very heavily used blush in my collection, but I had of course reached for it a handful of times. It has been in my collection for quite a few years, but again, it was just a bit of a neglected blush. It is a really nice tone. It's very versatile because it is definitely a pink tone blush, but it also has like a peachiness to it, which means that it works with more cool tone looks and warm tone looks. I am wearing it today, which with this like purple look, and that works fine, but I can also wear it with more warm tone looks. And I have been kind of getting a little bit of a dip with it, slow but steady, and I feel like last month, which is what you're looking at now, I was definitely getting more of a significant dip, and I am definitely kind of getting more again of a visible dip, and it's harder to miss now, which is nice. In the past month I have reached this one 27 times, and this is what it looks like today. So as you can see, no pan yet, but the dip is definitely there. The dip is dipping, and yeah, I am very happy with how this one is looking. I am a bit frustrated that I haven't hit pan yet though, but I am sure that it will come in, you know, in a short amount of time, fingers crossed. So yeah, that is the blush right now, and hopefully, I don't know if you can catch on camera, I feel like this dip is humongous. I don't know again how clearly you can pick that up, but it is very, very visible now, and very, like, not very deep, but it's very visible. And every time I go to use this blush now, I'm at the point where I look at it every time I dip my brush into it. Do I have pan? Nope. Do I have pan? Nope. Every single day. So I am eagerly waiting for the day when I hit pan on this one. I have no idea. Judging from Jessica, she panned a mini version of a Balm blush. I can't remember what shade it was, but she used to have a mini version that she panned all of last year and into this year too, I believe, and she finally hit pan on it. So judging from her, I know it took forever for her to hit pan. It might not happen for a very long time, but I'm hoping it will, because I can see that dip and I'm definitely using it a lot. Like I said, I have reached this one 27 times in the past month, for a total of 137 uses this year, which is very high. I do reach for this one majority of the time, and it's not every day, but again, majority of the time, and again, wearing it today, like I said. So it is staying in the project, and hopefully I can hit pan on it soon. The goal is ultimately to finish this one, but I don't think I'm going to finish it this year. So any progress I can make on it is amazing. But hopefully if I'm able to pan on it, I can at least like track the pan expansion and stuff like that, which will be more exciting for you guys. But who knows if that's going to happen in the next month or not. I'm going to try my best, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. The next product we have is another cheek product, and it's another one that I'm wearing today. It is my highlighter. This is my Sleek Sources palette, which I worked on last year, but I had one shade remaining, which I did work on last year, but I only worked on it as like a Franken shade. So I had it as Franken with eyeshadows and used it as a highlighter that way. So I hadn't used it on its own, but it's this shade right here, so you can see what it looks like. It's this kind of purplish shade, and it is the second shade in the palette called Hemisphere. It's not the easiest shade for me to reach for because it is a little bit of an icier tone. So it can, if I use it too heavily, it does kind of show up quite stripy on my cheek, but I can sheer it out, and if I do, it does work relatively nicely. This one, of course, is also another product that has been in since the beginning of the year. I think this is the last product that has been in since the beginning of the year that I'm going to talk about today. And I have been slowly making progress on it. It's not as fast as I would like it to be, but I am also panning 3 highlighters in my pan out face palette. So of course I have to split my time between all of these. I also have a liquid highlight in this project, so I'm a little bit of a highlighter fiend this year, but that is okay. Hopefully I can get through a couple of them. But yeah, this is what it looked like last month. I did have quite a small amount left, so I did also decide to repress it, so you can see what it looks like after repressing here. Since then I have reached for this highlighter 14 additional times. I'm trying to reach for it a little bit more because I'm determined to get it out, and this is what it looks like today. So I haven't looked back in my footage, but I'm hoping that the amount is getting smaller. I do definitely think it's getting thinner, but I'm hoping it's getting smaller too. It is, again, a slow moving highlighter. I'm really determined to have this one done by the halfway point of the year because I want this whole palette to be out of my 50 products that I want to pan in 2025 list. But I have no idea if I'm gonna be able to do that or not, judging from how much is left in it. So yes, that is the product right here. Again, I don't know if it looks any different, like just looking at it like straight on, but from the side or from the bottom, it definitely is way thinner. So that gives me a little bit of hope, but again, I have no idea if I'm going to be able to finish it in the next month or not. I will try. I might have to put a little bit less effort into my highlighters in my pan out face palette just so I can give this one its time to shine, because I do want it out. I want it out. It's not a summer shade for me, so I want it out. I don't want this to sit in this project until autumn, winter again, and I do think I might be able to get it out in a month. Again, maybe 2 max, but with those 14 additional uses this past month, this one is currently sitting at 65 uses total in the project this year. So the remaining products that are in the project are all products that have been rolled in throughout the year. And the first one is one that I rolled in update number 1. This is a powder from Chanel. It is the Natural Finish Pressed Powder in the shade Translucent 3. I'm going to roll the footage what it looked like. This is a product that I worked on last year as well, so it's also a rollover from last year. And I have 78 uses on it from that point. And when I first rolled into this project, it had quite a significant dip, but it did take me quite a long time to finally pan on it, which, spoiler alert, I have. I don't think you're seeing that quite yet, or maybe you are. I'm not sure if I hit pan on the first or second update with this product, but either way I was able to pan eventually. And this is such a deep powder. It does have, how much? It does have 15 grams of powder, which is why it probably took so long to pan on it, but as soon as I hit pan on it, it has been easier to see progress and see it expand. So I have reached for this one quite consistently. It is a little bit deeper for me, but I have loved this one as a bronzer or like a blending out kind of shade between my bronzer and the foundation if my bronzer is a little bit too deep. So it's been getting a decent amount of use. This is what it looked like last month, and since then I have continued using it. I do again keep reaching for it quite consistently, and I have 27 additional uses on it in the past month, and this is what it looks like today. So I haven't looked back at the footage, but I do think the pan has expanded quite decently. I'm getting to the point now when it's getting hard to pick up on my brush, so this might be one that I have to repress in the next month just because I don't want to damage my brush using it, and I feel like I'm at the stage now where I kind of am. This is what it looks like, and of course there is still product in there, but if you can see, there's almost like a gap between the powder and like the base of this powder, or like, yeah, like the pan and the powder itself. I don't know if it's all around, but especially in this corner right here, I don't know again if you can see that, but that also means like the brush is almost picking up into that corner, like it's rounding out the edge of the powder because I'm having to dig around, and it's not ideal. It's not as easy to pick up. So I do think I will repress this one this month just to make it easier to reach for. I'm hoping it's not going to change the formula or anything. I don't know. I have never repressed anything from Chanel, and this type of powder seems a little bit different. So like it doesn't, I don't know, it's hard panning and stuff like that. So I'm hoping it's not going to keep happening when I repress it, but I'm going to take the chance because I don't want to damage my brush using this one. So that is something you're going to see in the next update. But like I said, I have reached this one 27 additional times in the past month, and this one is currently sitting at 193 uses total, and that is again including the uses from last year. So we're moving on to the next product, which has been in now for 3 months, and that is my foundation. This is my Laura Mercier Real Flawless Weightless Perfecting Foundation in the shade 1W1 Cashmere. So this is a foundation that I have been working on. It's not like my favorite foundation, but it does look quite nice. I'm wearing it today mixed with something else, but I am wearing it today. It hasn't been in my collection for that long. I purchased it last year. However, I wanted to roll this one in because I do have other formulas now that I prefer, so that's kind of why I want to get this one out. Unfortunately, I can't see through the bottles. I have no idea how much is left in here. I guess I could like take out the pump to get an idea. Not really. It is really hard to see in there, but there's still definitely product left in here. And I'm just going to keep using it until it like struggles to pump, and then at that point I will reassess. But I don't reach for this one every single day. Like I said, it's not my favorite formula, but I do reach for it about half of the time, especially on like working from home days, things like that. And in the past month I have reached for this one 15 additional times for a total of 44 uses in the project, but it is of course staying in. We have a couple more products that have been in for 3 months. That was a really good update, so I rolled in a lot of products, but the next one we have to go through is this one right here, which is a bronzer. This is what it looked like when I first rolled it in. It is the Lys Beauty No Limits Matte Bronzer in the shade Motivate, which is the light shade. However, it's not very light. I feel like I have to use a very light hand with this bronzer because it is quite deep on me. I struggled to reach for this one because of that reason, but I have been trying to reach for it as much as I can, even with a light hand. And I've been doing okay. So this is what it looked like last month, and since then I have reached for 26 additional times, which is kind of my average. I reached for it 25 times the first month, 26 times the second month, and then 26 times this past month. And this is what it looks like today. So not much, you know, visible progress. I can see a tiny bit of a dip now, but I don't think you can be able to pick it up on camera. It is again quite a pigmented bronzer, so I have to be very gentle with it, which makes me worry a little bit about it, but I'm going to keep going with it and see how far I can get. That is the bronzer right here, and again, I don't know if you can pick up that dip at all. I don't think you can on camera, but it is there a little bit. I'm currently sitting at 77 uses total for this one, so it is getting a lot of use, but I'm using such a small amount with my kind of stipple brush. It's like a very, very fluffy stipple brush. And it is also what I'm wearing today, but I have mixed it with something else which I'm going to talk about later, and that's kind of what I've been doing. Not as much this month because I've been doing a lot of warm tone looks, but when I do more cool tone looks that works better for me because this is also quite a warm tone bronzer. But yeah, I'm going to keep going with it. It's not a massive bronzer or anything. It only has 6.5 grams, so hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't take me too long to at least hit pan, and at that point again I think we're gonna have a better idea if I can get through this one this year or not. So the product that I have been mixing that one with a little bit on and off is this product right here, which is my Kevyn Aucoin, the sculpting powder in light. So this is what it looked like when I first rolled it in, again 3 months ago. I definitely haven't been reaching for this one as much as the bronzer. I really struggled with it in the first month to find a way to reach for it. I only reached for it 6 times that month, and this is what it looked like the second update. I did ask you guys for tips on how to reach for this one because I don't like contouring my face. I feel like I look a bit muddy. It just doesn't suit my face shape, I feel like, and my skin tone. Or maybe I'm just not doing it right. But I did decide to start mixing it with my bronzer, and it worked really well until I got a bit of a tan, then it was too cool toned. But this is at least what it looked like last month, and again since then I have been struggling to mix it in this with my bronzer, which means that I only reached for this one once in the past month, which is a very small amount, and that is today. But this is what it looks like now. I don't think it's going to be much of a difference, of course, with just one use. But I did at least incorporate it today, so that is a success, but not where I want to be with this product. So yeah, don't think you're going to see any difference on this one. Again, I used this one mixed with a bronzer today and it worked really nicely with this more cool tone look. But since we are in spring and getting close to summer, I mean we kind of are in summer on and off here, I don't want to do many more cool tone looks, which is why I stopped reaching for it mixed with a bronzer this past month. But I'm going to try to continue finding ways to incorporate this one, because I do ideally want to have it out. How much does this have in it? It does have 4 grams. So again, might be able to get through it, but we're just gonna have to see. I'm not sure. For now, I'm sitting at 17 uses with it, and it's of course staying in because I'm nowhere near finished with it. The second last product that we have, which has also been in for 3 months, is the last product that has been in for 3 months now, is an eyeshadow right here. This is the Stila Magnificent Metal in the shade Metallic Peach. So you're looking at what it looked like when I first rolled it in. I have reached for this one a lot last year. I had 56 uses on it last year, so quite a lot. And that was also when I was able to pan on it. I have reached for this one a little bit, not as much as I would like to the first 2 months. This is what it looked like last month, and at that time, after 2 months in the project, I only had 3 uses, which isn't great. So I had made a significant effort in the past month to try to use it a bit more, and I'm happy to say that I reached for it 7 additional times this past month, and this is what it looks like today. So I'm hoping you can see some difference, especially after those 7 additional uses. I am wearing this one today. It is on my inner corner, and that is majority of the time how I've been using it. So you don't use for like the biggest amount, but it's quite a chunky shade, so even if you just pick up a little bit, you do kind of pick up like a chunk. So I am hoping that you can see some pan expansion with those 7 uses. That is what this one looks like now. I'm excited that I'm at least getting some use out of it, and I'm remembering to reach for this one because that has been my biggest issue. I just want to have this one out this year. I want to finish it. I want to have it as a completed eyeshadow, and that is my goal, even if it takes me the full year. And I have reached for this one 10 times this year for a total of 66 in total, including last year's uses. So a very, very high amount, and I'm sure this one's gonna take probably another like 40 uses, so more than 100 uses combined to finish at least. But yeah, we'll see. I do definitely have a long way to go with this one, a long road ahead. So it's gonna stay in for the long haul, but I'm trying to incorporate it more and more, just so it doesn't, you know, linger to the end and then I'm not done with it, because that would be devastating for me, because I have worked on this one and committed so much time to this eyeshadow. So the last item in this project has been in for 2 months now, and it is the highlighter I talked about earlier. It is the liquid highlighter. This is the Pie The Impossible Glow Highlighting Drops, which is something that I worked on last year. I worked on it in my deco panning, and I got a lot of use out of it. Unfortunately, I don't remember how many uses I had on it. I think, was it 30 or 50, something like that. I can't remember again. I don't have it written down because it wasn't in this specific project. But I have been reaching for this one a decent amount since rolling in, considering we are still not in summer yet, because this is my favorite product to reach for in summer. This is my progress lines right there. So you can see the first month there I reached for it 6 times, and then this past month I have reached for it 4 additional times for a total of 10, and it is slowly moving. Of course, I'm not done yet, but I am hopeful this can be done before the end of summer, considering, you know, how quickly it's moving with just those 10 uses. So we have another one staying in, and since it's the last product that we're going to talk about, that means we only have one rollout, which is that first product that I talked about, the white concealer. So let me go ahead and show you what I'm replacing that with. And again, since we are in the summer months, I have decided to roll in a new product which will work really nicely with something else that is in this project, and that is another foundation. This is my Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Tinted Hydrating Gel Cream in the shade Natural 05, and that is also what I'm mixing my Mercier foundation with today. It's kind of what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks anyway, after coming back from holiday, just because the Mercier foundation is now too light on its own. So I used to use a little bit of this. I use about 2/3 of the Mercier foundation and 1/3 of this, and it works out perfectly. So I thought I might as well just roll this one in to track my progress. Unfortunately, again, I can't see through the tube at all, but I do think this one is maybe down to here, I would guess. I don't think it's like, it's definitely way past halfway full, I would guess, but we'll see how long it takes. I think it's going to be a good thing to roll in, because that means I can mix between the two foundation depending on how much of tan I have, and it's also something that I can reach for relatively often because it is a, you know, everyday type of product. I'm not too fussed about my foundations. Yes, again, on office days, things like that, I do wear something a bit more long lasting, but working from home, if you're popping out on the weekend, these type of things work perfectly. So that is going to be it for this update, you guys. I'll see what I can do in the next month, letting you know as well, I am due to have my baby in a month's time on the 1st of July. So I don't know what's going to happen with next month's update, if I'm going to be able to update it on time or if it's going to roll over a month, but we'll see. Again, either way, my main goals will be to try to finish up that highlighter and maybe hit pan on the blush. That is maybe just wishful thinking, but that would be amazing if I could do that. I'm not going to, of course, put any like official goals, but that would be like the dream scenario. So we'll see. You can manifest it, try to manifest it for me. Let me know in the comments if you think I can do it or not. But other than that, I hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye, guys.